Hello, sir. On behalf of Novartis, me and my colleagues, actually, we are here to discuss the possibility of a potential opportunity of collaboration between our company, Novartis, and your esteemed company to boost our brand image to the public.
Great.
Just to give a little bit background about Novartis, Novartis is a Swiss multinational pharmaceutical company based on Basel. Now, with 135,000 employees, we rank #1 in terms of sales among other pharmaceutical companies in 2013. Novartis was formed in 1996 after a series of mergers between Ciba, Geigy, and Sandoz. Basically, Ciba and Geigy, they merged back early in days to form Sandoz in 1970. And Geigy has been to the market since 1875. You're going to take this whole period together, we can say that we are in the market for more than 250 years.
Okay.
And we consider ourselves as an
You
expert.
don't look that old, but that's okay.
We consider ourselves as an expert in the pharmaceutical field. Now, basically, Novartis went through a couple of changes during the past few months, but our goal was not changed. Basically, patient is still in the core of our interest. With our purpose is to provide care and cure to our patients.
And as part of our mission to care and cure, it is important to be in good financial health and to provide adequate returns for our shareholders whose ingenuity and money has made this possible. And I'm proud to report that we have done so. Over the past 3 years, we have a larger than 20% annualized return on the stock. We're slightly off of our all-time high, which was $95.50, which we hit this April. And one of the major catalysts for this warm investor response on behalf of investors and analysts is our recent purchase of GlaxoSmithKline's oncology division, which we made for $17 billion, allowing us to put a greater business emphasis in the area of oncology, and our sale of our animal medicine division to Eli Lilly for about $6 billion. It was not as profitable, and our balance sheet is currently very healthy with a current ratio of about 1.2. We had a net income of about $10 billion last year, and our current ratio, our ability to pay our debts, provide us present stability, and our large supply of cash provides us future flexibility in terms of pipeline and mergers and acquisitions. We had $58 billion in revenue for 2013, and it's important to note that our recent mergers and acquisitions will allow us to streamline our business, so to speak, and we anticipate that our net margins will improve from 20.6% to 22.6%, which may not seem like a lot, but when you're talking about $58 billion in revenue, that's a pretty significant increase. And as a result of our recent mergers and acquisitions and our strong pipeline, we have recently been upgraded from 3 to 4 stars by the S&P Capital IQ stock rating people, and we're very proud of the response on behalf of the investment community in that regard, and we hope that our strong pipeline will be able to provide us for increasing net profits in the years to come.
Thanks.
Now, Mr. Bolger, as a marketing firm, you're probably very interested in our major projects. I want to focus on 2 of our primary divisions, Pharma and Alcon. Now, Pharma continues to rejuvenate our portfolio. We had over 13 new drug developments last year, and we have over 200 developments in clinical trials around the company. But 3 highlights I want to point out are Ilaris, which is a treatment for various forms of arthritis, the Ultivo Breezhaler, which is a pretty novel treatment. It's a single daily dose for airway obstruction problems like chronic bronchitis and emphysema. And third, the Exelon, which is a skin patch for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's patients. And Pharma continues to really have a number of growth products, but 3 I want to highlight. are Galenia, which year over year, 2012 to last year, had a 62% rise in sales. Afinitor, which is a breast cancer drug, had a 66% rise in sales. And Galvis, which is a treatment for type 2 diabetes, had a 40% rise in sales. Moving on to our Alcon division, we have a number of exciting developments, but the biggest is what you see here. This is the Centurion imaging software and suite. Basically, for patients who have damaged or deteriorating lenses in their eyes, this system allows a surgeon to go in and replace that lens with a man-made lens, preserving vision. And the Centurion is pretty amazing on its own, but it also has a couple of related developments. And those are first the digital imaging software, which gives the surgeon precise calculations while he's doing the surgery, he or she. In addition to the software, the images that the surgeon gets during the operation. It also has advanced lasers we're developing for it, as well as new microscopes in the field. So the entire package includes, a number of related advancements throughout the whole ophthalmology department.
So this has both kind of imaging capability and surgical devices engaged in the same
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a number of developments just in that one Centurion package alone. It's pretty outstanding.
And what is that replacing, do you know?
I don't know
Or
the
is
history
it
of.
a new configuration?
I don't know the history of medical devices that are for lens replacement therapies, but it's got a lot of advancements on its own.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, to illustrate another problem, I want you to imagine you go home and over the next few weeks or few days, whatnot, you start to have vision problems and they get more and more serious, and eventually you see a specialist. Well, you go in to see that specialist and he or she tells you, Mr. Bolger, okay, why don't you just go ahead and come back to us if it gets worse? It sounds kind of ridiculous, but this is actually standard of care for some patients who have a form of an age-related illness called vitreomacular traction. And what happens in this problem is that the fluid in the inner eye starts to separate from the surrounding tissue at an uneven rate and causing light to bend differently, causing vision problems, sometimes blindness. And there's over 250,000 people in Europe alone that have this condition. Previously to Alcon developing the drug I'm going to introduce to you, for a lot of them there was really no therapy. And Alcon has developed a drug called Jetrea, which can be injected into that liquid in the eye, and that helps the liquid in the eye separate evenly so that their vision is preserved for the long term. So we have a number of exciting projects in both pharma and Alcon that we feel give us distinct advantages over our competitors.
And Novartis is a competitive company, and we do have some good competitors. And from 2010 to 2014, as you can see, we've managed to hold strong in terms of the number of drugs that we have in development.
Is that what the axis is here, is the number of
Yeah,
products in the pipeline?
between two of our competitors and the Amex Pharmaceutical Index, which measured this, and we took it from.
And Novartis is orange on this, correct?
Novartis is orange.
Okay.
That's their company color. And our competition is in blue and yellow.
Okay.
But to stay competitive in an ever-changing market, Novartis has decided to take steps necessary by consolidating our resources that have been spread over 6 companies into 3 companies. And that's the future that we have here at Novartis. And the future is Novartis Pharmaceuticals, Novartis Alcon, and Novartis Sandoz, or Sandoz. And what's on the horizon for this future is 14 blockbuster drugs that are expected to hit the market by 2017. By consolidating our resources from 6 companies into 3, we believe that it will increase innovation substantially and allow us to provide new and better quality products of unparalleled quality to our customers, because ultimately that's who matter as our customers. We care about our company since we've taken steps to ensure its future. We care about our customer base, and that's why we're here, is because we care to cure.
So Novartis has three commitments to social responsibility. First of all, we're aiming to improve global health. Every year we go ahead and discover and develop new healthcare products to give to society. So as of 2013, we've reached out to 1 billion people around the world. So our goal is to continuously grow this number and expand our healthcare practice. Secondly, we believe protecting the environment makes good business sense. We use natural resources efficiently, and we try to use sustainable products when possible. For instance, we recycle and reuse water when needed. In addition, we provide sustainable packaging for all our drug products. In addition, we want to be a more energy efficient company. So by 2015, we've set a goal to reduce our energy. In addition, we want to go ahead and reduce our carbon footprinting. And lastly, our biggest key component is community engagement. So what we want to go ahead and do is volunteer and create alliances. So locally we've volunteered with food banks, we've volunteered to renovate schools, and in addition we formed an alliance with FC Basel, which is a European football team. We sponsor them and we work with children with disabilities. On a more global level, we have a couple of philanthropic foundations. So what we do, one of the ones we do is we provide free treatment to anyone who has leprosy. And our biggest initiative is our malaria initiative. So as of 2013, we've reached 600 million individuals in malaria endemic countries, 200 of which were for pediatric treatments. And just Novartis as a community internally, what we go ahead and do is we provide them with a safe and healthy workplace. So we have health initiatives. Take for instance, we've provided them with health screenings and health classes for any individual within our company that wants to take them. In addition, we've ranked in many lists. We've become best employers for mothers. In addition, we've been the most admired company with key reputation marks in product quality and social responsibility. So for us, social responsibility is a core of our business. It underscores our purpose to care and cure. So I really like this quote by our CEO: "We apply our expertise in science and innovation to society's biggest health challenges." So we hope that our innovations that we create and we give to society will go ahead and benefit them wholly.
I love that quote, and this graphic, it really shows kind of what the company is all about. The core is really on the patient to care and cure, and building on that, we want to be inspiring to both patients and the entire healthcare community, everybody we work with, empathetic in everything we do, and to always use fact-based medicine, go where the evidence leads us. From that, we just kind of build on those 4 principles. You see there: innovation, responsibility in everything we do, as Mira talked about, quality no matter what, and to always be performance driven, not only on the financial side for our investors, but for our internal employees and for our customers. So Mr. Bolger, we really think we're excited to work with your firm, hope you are too, and really we want to show consumers around the globe that regardless of their pharmaceutical needs, diverse, varying as it may be, Novartis is really their ideal choice. So thank you, and at this point we'd like to open it up for questions.
Yeah, a couple questions.
Okay.
Scale, from an image perspective, which is kind of what we're here to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
scale is both an asset and a liability.
Absolutely.
What's your take on how we can spin, and I don't mean in an artificial way, but how do we represent the large-scale nature of Novartis in a positive way?
Now, basically, now, as my colleague was mentioning about, now Novartis is doing amazing in terms financially. They're gonna follow the record for the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing good, and actually, we want to use this good performance to achieve our target, which is care and cure for patients. This can be seen actually if we can take a look at our sales growth within the past couple of years. Now, I think we built a good reputation with people, and people would love to work with us as well, because I need to take our medication because they saw the benefit, they saw the value that we are providing for these patients. So basically, our health, our financial scale will help us to provide innovative medications to these patients to achieve the target, which is care and cure for these people.
Okay.
And-
Kind of on the flip side of that, is there any particular, I'll call him small guy, that you fear?
If you're talking about competitors now,
Yes.
now, what do you mean by we fear?
Or either fear or have concern that they might erode market share in some significant way.
Now, actually, we believe that competition should be healthy competition. Now, every company has its right to produce medications and create innovations. Now, we believe that due to what's called cost contaminant that's going on in the world, at the end of the day, there will be two types of pharmaceutical companies. The one which care about innovation, and the second one who doesn't care about innovation. And I do believe the one which will survive is the company that work on their innovations. Now, there's a lot. Now, we rank in terms of oncology, for example, which we acquired GSK now. Now, we rank number 2 in terms of the total sale in the oncology around the world. Now, number 1 pharmaceutical company is not Novartis. We are not afraid of that because we know that we have in our pipelines new medications that are gonna exceed our expectations.
Last question for you. Once again, back to kind of an image view. If you were to pick one product that you offer that we would sort of showcase as representing your best image, what would you guess that would be?
Product or company?
Product.
Now, for ouch, I think that if you asked me this question 1 year ago, I would say Gleevec. Now, Gleevec is a medication used for chronic myelocytic leukemia, and it was the only medication that has been approved by the FDA based in phase 2 clinical trial due to high effectiveness. Now, Gleevec made an amazing job in terms of oncology for treating patients with chronic myelocytic leukemia. Nowadays, we have another medication called Tasigna. Tasigna plus Galvus, I think they are they've shown that they provide care and cure for our patients in that chronic myelocytic leukemia. If I'm going to choose another medication, I would choose a medication called Diovan. Diovan is until now it's number 1 medication in terms of sales for hypertension around the world. Now the problem with Diovan is we're going to lose its patency actually soon. For that reason, we have something coming up in the pipeline that's going to keep it hold for the time being until we got it. But Tasigna, Galvus, they're doing an amazing job these days.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You know, actually, to kind of go
back.
back to your first question, on the second question, I don't know personally the small competitors that could make a little bit of a niche, but the first question you asked about what we could kind of spin and focus on from a global perspective is really what a couple of colleagues had talked about, is the thinning of the business from 6 businesses to 3. We're at a point in the pharmaceutical industry globally that there's so many, I was just reading about this the other day, there's so many mergers and acquisitions and takeovers and whatnot going on, and regulatory agencies and news corporations that can't really keep up. What we're doing is not necessarily going the opposite strategy, but we're thinning down our business. We got rid of our animal care and vaccines unit, and we're focusing, and that could be a highlight to consumers around the globe, although personally.
We're consolidating. We're going from being good at 6 to being great at 3.
Yeah, great at 3.
Okay. Good answers. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.